Alright, welcome back to Brewmatures. This is it for Pumpkin Week. It's our finale. We've got two very special beers for you today. I'm so excited for this. It's our last chance at pumpkin flavor, and I'm hoping it's the best. It's been a long time coming to review these beers.
Yeah. I mean, from the past, Bottle Logic has always been top notch, so.
Without further ado, let's get to it. Rafa. I'm excited. I've been holding on to these two beers for a long time. Whew. We have Picture If You Will from Bottle Logic, 2019 and 2016. We're going to do a taste comparison today.
That's crazy.
One's 2 years old, the other one's 5 years old this year. They usually come right around October, so it's their anniversary. A little background on this beer. Bottle Logic started in 2013. First time they released Picture If You Will was 2015, so we have the second year of that. And we have the 5th year of that. Now last year, they did a very small batch of this. Wasn't able to get my hands on any of that, but they said it was their last time they're gonna make this beer. Now whether that's true or not or holds out, we'll see. But you know, this is kind of a final send-off for the beer. My first time trying it, your first time trying it. I'm really excited to see the difference here.
2 years and 5 years, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
2 years doesn't sound like a lot, 5 years might not sound like a lot of people, but.
That's 2 years aged for this one and 5 years aged for this one.
That's more than a high school career for some people.
Yeah, for most people.
Yeah, for most, not all of them, most of them.
Looking at these, I'm gonna start with the 2016 here. It's got a matte label. It's old school. It doesn't even have.
The designs look all different too.
Yeah, it's just their more original label. The cap doesn't even have their logo on it yet at this point.
Oh
wow. It's got the alcohometer though. It doesn't say right here what the alcohol is on this one. It's 13.3%, it says on the front here. Bourbon pumpkin ale. Ale brewed with pumpkin, cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, clove, and aged in bourbon barrels. Level 1 limited. You're traveling through another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and of sound, but of taste. A journey into a wondrous land whose boundaries are that of your own imagination. That's the signpost up ahead. Your next stop, the Pumpkin Zone. End transmission. So obviously a riff on old school Twilight Zone. Love that.
Even then, like their bottle design was just on another level compared to a lot of stuff we've seen.
Yeah.
It's only improved, but.
Comparing it to the 2019 version, 2019, by this point they had the foil label. Alcohometer still on here. 2019 is 12.88% alcohol, so a little different. It's also in black ink instead of purple. And instead of listing all the spices on the front, they just say ale brewed with pumpkin and spices aged in bourbon barrels.
Oh, okay.
So,
and then this one says store in 50 degrees or less.
And this one says 40. So maybe they learned a few things between then. They've been in my fridge the entire time that I've owned them. They've just been waiting for this moment.
Maybe so. This one pairs well with ricotta, roasted turkey, and pecan pie.
And they updated that to a little bit more fancy taste here. 2019 says it pairs well with roviola, pumpkin agnolotti, and maple whoopie pie.
Okay,
so
okay.
I've never heard of any of these other than a whoopie pie.
I've heard of these.
Yeah. So maybe they got a little too fancy in 2019 here. 500 milliliters.
2019.
I will tell you this. If you look at the bottles too, this is what I noticed taking pictures. The 2016 is a darker bottle.
Oh, it is, yeah.
It's light, but you notice it in a picture. And maybe you'll see it in the picture that I put up. But
maybe that's why it has the degrees a little more.
Maybe. Yeah, generally the one that's darker is going to let less light in, which means it's going to alter the beer less. I'm excited. I don't know. We'll see how the aging affects the beer. I mean, neither of these are fresh at this point.
Yeah.
But they are marked as cellar and save beers, so they're meant to be aged. And hopefully that only improves the flavor.
At this point. I'll take some Bottle Logic. Any of the other ones you
Yeah.
had.
Oh yeah, Bottle Logic. We're waiting for those good flavors.
Yeah.
And that's enough talking. Let's get to drinking. All right, sir. Grab your glasses. We're getting into the pumpkin zone here.
Right.
Which one should we do first?
I don't know.
Let's just end the video here. We don't need to do this.
Let's just enjoy the
The way
looks
they
of
look.
it.
And we can always save the bottles, man. We can always save the bottles. I guess I'll pour the newer one first.
I don't know. I feel like there's pros and cons to
We
either one.
have yet to do a vertical. We have yet to do a vertical, which is when you have different years tasting.
Yeah.
And we will do more in the future. We have a lot of good stuff lined up. But this is our first time. This is a good time to...
Is there one you want to try? Should we rock, paper, scissors? You be one, I be the other.
Let's do that.
All right, so you're this one, I'm this one.
All right, I'm the old one. Wait. Best 2 out of 3 or just 1?
2 out of 3.
Okay.
Rock,
Paper, scissors. Rock, paper, scissors. Gotcha.
You.
Oh,
All right,
rock,
ready?
paper,
Go. 1, 2.
scissors.
Ooh,
Don't
you
play
won.
Squid Games. I'm moving on to the next round. All right, 2016.
I'm number 1 though. Swirl it.
Ooh, good hits on that still. They coming out of there. I feel like I almost want to save that, even though it's just a blank little cap.
There's one other one over there from Basic.
Ooh, caramel color, perfect for an ale. Now remember, these are ales and not stouts.
Oh,
So going back to our first video for pumpkin, yes, they're pumpkin ales. Barrel-aged pumpkin ales.
I did not. Okay. I thought they were stouts this whole time.
All right, so 2016 is going to be on the left.
Okay.
Do I pour the other one now?
It's up to you.
Let's do it now. We're going to do side by side.
All right, put the ale right here.
2016 on the left, 2019 on the right. That way we don't get them confused. I'm assuming they're going to be... Why are we nervous? Why are we so nervous about this?
It's Bottle Logic, man.
Yeah, this is the big boy stuff.
This looks like some older stouts we had.
Oh yeah, I'm excited. Been a long time coming. I've had this one since 2020. Got this one luckily the beginning of 2020. And
The newer one has a lot more.
carbonation.
Yeah.
Which is to be expected. Over time it's gonna lose carbonation no matter what. Let's do 2016 to the nose first.
All right.
Very sweet.
This one went hands down just on the nose.
Apple cider.
Yep.
All the spices coming through.
Yep. Oh, wow.
And you get a little bit of that like caramel bourbon characteristic to it that I love in my stouts and barrel-aged stuff that we've had from Bottle Logic
What I got
before.
a smile on my face. I think this is what we were waiting for this whole time.
This is what we've been waiting for. All right, now we have to nose 2019. I feel like there's more spice in that one.
Yeah. The newer one, this is 2019?
Yes.
The newer one. 2019, yeah. It
It's
has
up to
more
you to keep them
spices.
straight from this point. I'm doing left is 2016, right's 2019.
All right, I got the same.
And it has the more carbonation too for now.
It has more like spice on the nose.
It has more, the 2019 has more spice, but I feel like 2016 has more of that caramel bourbon characteristic to it.
Compared to, I mean, just going back to other videos that we did, the other ones kind of had like an apple cider scent to it. This one has
Yeah.
like a spice, like
You're getting all those spices for sure.
those little like cinnamon broomsticks that you buy at the stores.
Oh yeah,
This
that's
is what
exactly what it is.
This isn't like the apple cider. This is like something like the scent is there.
Yeah, whereas 2016 is more of the apple cider spice you were smelling. And that could be with the age. Maybe they mellowed out, the spices mellowed out over time. And I mean, there's a 3-year gap here. So
Yeah.
maybe they changed the recipe too.
Even the scent on this one, the 2016, I'll take over some of the other ones we had this week.
Oh, hands down. Look at you.
1, 2.
just start
or
pushing those out of the
1, 2,
picture.
Or 1, 2. Either one, but they take the cake.
All right, should we sip on 2016 first?
Let's do it.
All right, here we go. 5-year-old beer right here.
Okay. It did take me a second to remember that it was an ale.
It is an ale, not a stout. Lots of sweetness and like caramel notes. This reminds me of, and you haven't tried any of them yet, but of some of the other older stouts that I've tried. Even though this isn't a stout, it's a lot mellower. You can't taste the alcohol. It's super smooth. Getting a little bit of those spices as I sip on it, but not a whole lot. Mostly it's that caramel and bourbon flavor coming through from the barrel.
I get a lot of, I get the bourbon barrel for sure. How much does this have?
13.33%.
13.3.
And I don't really get any bit of that. Which makes sense. Over time, alcohol is supposed to tame itself, to like tamper down.
Okay.
What's going on over there?
I don't know. It's good.
You don't sound too sure at all.
No, I guess it's just playing like a mind trick with me because the times we've had, or I have had these Bottle Logic bottles, they've been stouts. So it's kind of like,
It tastes like a stout.
no, it's like, it's not a stout and it tastes different. It's like, because I'm kind of trying to compare it to a stout, but
Is this your first like strong barrel-aged ale that you've had?
from them, yeah.
Oh, that's why. Yeah, they're a little different because you're not gonna get a lot of that chocolate. It's more just that it's a lot of caramel, like dark fruits is what a lot of people call it, like figs.
Yeah, so I get a lot of that, for sure. But
Man, that's so good.
I'll take this one over any of the other ones.
Yeah, the spices are still there, but they're a lot more subtle than some of the other beers we've had.
Yeah, they're not as strong as the other ones, huh?
Than like the best of the other ones that we've had, but they're still there after 5 years.
It is, 5-year beer. It still has its, compared to some that were bottled in July.
All right, ready to try the 2019?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna take a sip of water.
Sip of water.
I wanna
Cleanse the palate.
cleanse the palate.
All right, it's time to taste the 2019. It's different.
Yep.
I gotta sip this again, see what all that was. There was a lot going on there. It's spicier.
Oh yeah.
There's something there. Can't put my finger on it. I don't like it. I don't know what it is. It's the finish, whatever that is. Like a lingering. It's almost medicinal to me. Oh,
What is this?
it just changed into like a more pleasant pumpkin flavor. But there's a flavor in there for a little bit where it reminded me of like medicine I took as a kid.
I think this nose, I prefer this one on the nose compared to that one.
If you could take the nose on this and the taste on this for me, that would be optimal. Are you tasting that at all? There's like a medicinal flavor that I'm getting.
I don't know.
Maybe it's just the ale flavor. Because it fades and I get more of the spice. A lot of that almost a candy cinnamon.
Yeah, I mean, I can't put my finger on it, but I think I know what you're saying.
It does fade from that note that I don't like to a really nice, almost candy cinnamon, spices, and then I get a little bit of pumpkin. And that part's nice. And the more I sip it, the less I taste that medicinal note.
But I would say like these actually have more of the spice flavors than the other ones you had.
And maybe it's the barrel aging that's really bringing that out. I don't know. I think they aged this for 6 to 8 months, but that's just me shooting from the hip on this. I don't really know. Maybe longer, but the longer you're gonna let those spices sit in there, the more they're gonna impart to the beer. Same thing with the barrel. The longer it sits in the barrel, the more it's gonna get that flavor from the barrel.
I don't know what these. I'm kind of.
They're both good in their own way.
Yeah, they're good in their own. They're different for sure.
I mean, we definitely should rate them separately. And that'll tell us how we rank them. Or we could rate them separately, do the average, and see who comes out on top.
Yeah.
Depending on what we rank it. We're going to sip on these beers a little while longer and come back with our final thoughts. And we're back. Final thoughts and rankings. Rafa, how you feeling?
Well, 2016. I'm going to do a 3.25.
Okay.
3.5. I'll go with 3.5. On the nose, it's good. The scent is good. For a 5-year-old, I mean, it's 5 years old, so
Yep.
I feel like it's kept its flavors a lot better than beers that we've had lately. So I'm gonna get it a 3.5. 2019, I think I'm gonna give it a. I'm gonna go with the 4.
The 4?
With the 2019. On the nose, I think this is the best one we had this week with the pumpkin, with the Halloween ones.
You could pick either of these and they'd both be the best one we've
Oh,
had
yeah.
this week.
Either of these will beat the other ones on the nose or flavor. But on the nose, I'm going to take 2019 and on the flavor as well. I feel like it's more rich. And personally, I think 2019. I might go with the 4, 2019.
All right, that brings it to me. For me, it's really a tale of two different beers almost here. It really feels like they changed up the recipe for 2019. But who knows? This beer is 5 years old, and this one is only 2 years old. I mean, that's a big difference. There's a lot of mellowing and tempering of this beer, the 2016, that has happened. All that being said, I'm going to give the 2019 a 4.25, and I'm going to give the 2016 a 5.
Ooh, 5.
5 out of 5 for me, because I really, really, really love the caramel and dark fruit notes that I get on the 2016. It has a little bit of spice left in there. A tiny bit of almost like a yam flavor that I'm getting the more I sip on it. And that's not to knock the 2019 at all. But the spice is just so much more forward in it. I don't know that I like it as much. It also had that weird medicinal note that I was picking up on that I know you didn't get, but for me that knocks it down a little bit. Even though it does devolve into like a pumpkin and spice.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with either of these beers, honestly.
Oh, for sure, no.
And I'm very, very, very happy that we got to try each of them.
Yeah.
I'm going to put up a graphic now as to which beer won with the average. But that being said, for you it was the 2019, for me it was the 2016.
Yeah.
Both kind of in a landslide, really. And that just goes to show you that you can't really go off what other people say about a beer. You got to try it yourself.
Yeah.
But since you guys probably won't get your hands on these, you can take our word for it.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take these over any of the other ones. I think for me personally, it's just, I mean, just because you rated a 5, and a 4.5, 4.25?
4.25, yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was like a 4 and a 3.5.
I really enjoyed the spice in it. And maybe it's the barrel aging that really does the trick on all these, letting it marinate more with those spices and the pumpkin to bring out the flavors.
Yeah.
It's hard to beat a barrel-aged stout or ale, it feels like.
Yeah. I think I'm just being biased with my maybe a little lower ratings just because I'm used to just having stouts like in these, like barrel aged. So that's the thing about it. But I mean, they're still good. I mean, I did take the 2019 over the 2016. I feel for me the flavors are, I don't know. I didn't get the, like you said, the medicinal taste in there. But
which, yeah, if I didn't have that, it would rank higher for me, like maybe a 4.5, 4.75. And I mean, it's probably the alcohol talking, but the more I sip on it, the less I get that note. It's still there a little bit, but I have to go with sort of my initial tasting of it, just because the longer you sip on any beer, the better it's going to taste.
yeah. And these say they're, I don't know, brewed with pumpkins. Maybe I just don't know what to look for when I'm talking about pumpkins.
I can't help but think of pumpkin pie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the thing
And
about
nothing we've tasted is like that's pumpkin pie, except for
the ale from Trader Joe's.
yeah, what was that? Laughing Pumpkins,
Howling, Growling.
Howling, Growling Pumpkins from Trader Joe's. We're gonna put it up again.
But
More work for me.
yeah. But besides that, most of them I think it's just the spices.
Yeah, and I
know
do
about
get
the
a little bit of that pumpkin in 2019.
Yeah.
I do get it a little bit there on the finish, but it's not jumping in your face like you would expect it to be. But these are the best beers that we've had.
Oh yeah,
this
for sure.
week.
Hands down. Easy.
I am super glad we ended with these.
Compared to the other ones, 5 out of 5. But on its own, I think I'm gonna go with 3.5 and a 4.
Now, is this a beer that you would look forward to year after year? Seasonal beer.
I think the 2019 I would.
Okay. I mean, and that is probably closer to what last year's version was.
Yeah.
We don't have that to try, but their final iteration is probably close to the recipe in here.
But I feel like if it was available, like readily available, but I want to go out of my way and try to look for it and go to like all these other like spots that have it,
right,
to pick it up. But if it was like available somewhere close by, I probably would.
Well, unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, they are no longer producing this beer, so this is the last time we're probably going to drink this. A little sad.
Yep.
They have one other pumpkin beer as of right now. It's the Spice Must Flow. It is a pumpkin stout, and if anyone out there has it, let me know and I'll buy it off of you. But yeah, we're probably not going to try that one either. I'm really hoping they come out with a new pumpkin beer this year. That'd
Hopefully
be cool.
so, yeah.
And if they do, we're going to review it. That being said, this is also kind of a send-off for this beer since they're not going to make it anymore. Bottle Logic was only 3 years old when they made this one, and they were 6 when they made this one.
Yep.
Now they're 8, and they're expanding. We're rambling.
Regardless of the ratings and whatnot, I mean, Bottle Logic has been coming up with a bunch of good stuff. Every time they drop something, we always keep an eye out for it, and something we look forward to trying. So, thumbs up, kudos to them. It's just the evolution of them. I mean, even back then, 5 years old, they have a lot of good stuff, and it still tastes great. I'm looking forward to 10 more years, 8 more years. You know, the next 8 years.
Let's see what they have to offer.
Yep. So yeah.
That being said, you want to tell everyone what we're planning to do from now until November ends?
We are going to be trying
Seasonal beers. We're still on the lookout for that best pumpkin beer, whether it's an ale or a stout or whatever.
Oh man. Yes, we're gonna be doing that. These are by far the best ones we've had this week when it comes to the holiday seasonal pumpkin beers. But the other ones, they've been a letdown, so we're just gonna keep looking for them, searching for them. Hopefully we find a good one that we really want to go back towards every year. I mean, the Trader Joe's one was good though.
Yeah, that was really good, especially bang for your buck wise.
Oh, bang for the buck, 100%.
And that's one that every year it's like, I'll buy a 6-pack of that.
Oh yeah.
That being said, we do have a stout on the way from McKellar, pumpkin. And it's not just pumpkin beers we're gonna do. We're gonna do a lot of fall flavors. So a lot of your apple pie. There's a caramel apple sour, I think, that I have ready for us to review. So look out for that all through the end of November.
Yep, orange theme, pumpkin theme.
All the fall flavors.
All the fall flavors, yep. This one, thumbs up. All the other ones we've had.
Not great, not great. I think that's the most below 3s in like a review that we've ever had.
Yeah. But these are ales. The stouts we didn't really enjoy. You think maybe it's just the ales that go better with pumpkin?
That's hard to say.
Yeah, we'll find out on the journey, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll find a pumpkin stout that really, it's like gets it right. But maybe it is the ales. Maybe there's some property in there that's really bringing out the spices in the pumpkin. I think the barrel aging is key, but I don't know if we're gonna have too many more barrel aged pumpkin stouts or ales. So we'll see. We have a month to figure it out.
But we're hopeful, and well, the search continues.
I mean, our goal is to try every beer from around the world, so who knows where that's going to take us.
Exactly.
That being said, that's it for today's beer review. I hope you enjoyed it. Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe. Until next time, we're the Brewmatures, trying every beer from around the world. One sip at a time.
2019, 2016. I think I'm gonna go with 2019 personally. What about yourself?
We're gonna rank each of them though.
Oh, shit,
We're gonna
shit.
rate each of them though.
Okay.
Man! Monkey man.
There you go.
Mama.
It was good.
Do you need to move the Cheetos bag still?
Nope. I think for me, 2019 has a little bit more on the nose that I appreciate more. 2016, it still has it more compared to other ones, but I would take 2019 on this one. Ooh, double fisting them.
Yeah, but you still have to rate each one of them.
You ready?
That's playing, right?
Y'all ready for this?
Playing, right? Oh, turn on the thing.
No, but
Wait.
really, keep on playing. Hey.